Hi, my name is Damaira Figueroa Lasu. I am the Data Hub coordinator.
Hi, my name is Jorge Solevila. I'm a GIS analyst. What is the Data Hub?
The Data Hub is a group of data-driven professionals who generate robust research, analysis, along with data tools to provide information about Puerto Ricans in the U.S. as well as in Puerto Rico to our external stakeholders. What inspired the creation of the Data Hub at Centro?
Very good question.
Essentially, the lack of accessible data, in particular to Puerto Ricans, as well as the lack of readily packaged quantitative data to researchers.
That could enable other researchers interested in Puerto Rican studies to get access and information that is not readily available or easy to understand or digest for most researchers.
What is a data researcher? A data researcher is essentially any researcher who uses data or data-driven methods.
There's data analysts, there's GIS specialists like me, and there's data scientists and other types of people that work with data and try and answer questions with data. What type of data do you guys collect and analyze?
We don't collect data ourselves.
A lot of the work that we do and the data that we analyze on a day-to-day basis is data that is derived either from the U.S. Census or other federal departments.
The topics can range from natural hazards, mitigation, race and ethnicity, poverty.
And that is what we use to produce our reports and do most of our analysis. How did you become a data researcher?
Honestly, by accident. I had a different career path.
I started as an engineering student in school.
My background is in criminal justice.
I've always thought that I've been good at or tried to think through questions and answer questions and ask stuff.
Until I found my way to sociology, and I really enjoyed how data could be used to help people.
When I went to do my master's, I wanted to focus on other things, and then I ended up getting a job here at the Center for Puerto Rican Studies within the Data Hub team.
And I kind of nerded out a little bit, using statistical softwares to support my arguments. What tools do you use for data collection and analysis? Depending on the researcher, we use R, Python, Stata.
We use Google surveys as a way to survey information and collect it and put it into a database. There's other tools available like
Google Sheets, Google Forms. In terms of analysis, we use something just as simple as Excel and even Tableau.
We also use other tools for data visualization. So if you read out one of our reports or stuff like that, there's multiple tools in there that are being used.
How do you ensure the accuracy and reliability of your data?
Most of the data that we use is derived from federal sources. So there's already like a quality assurance process behind that data being published. We take the information that they provide us and we use it internally when we're conducting data analysis. Even the way that we handle the information is meant to minimize mistakes in terms of just changing the data. And then we do peer reviews with each other's work.
How does the Data Hub support Centro's research and outreach initiatives?
The whole concept of the Data Hub is built upon supporting research. It was conceived with the idea that it would provide our contextual background research and research that is not easily available, that they could use the material that we produce, be it migration, be it population count, be it whatever it is, to enhance the research that they're already doing. And that work also serves us to do our outreach. Can you describe some of the key projects that the Data Hub has worked on recently? Some of the most important research that we've done in the past is we created an index to quantify or provide a context of the vulnerability of children in Puerto Rico, particularly related to natural events. We continue to produce and modernize some of the things that we've been discussing throughout the last 10 or 12 years. So we now create dashboards that provide population counts and other socioeconomic characteristics of the Puerto Rican population in the United States.
Can you walk us through your typical process for starting and completing a project? Well, it all depends on the project itself, but all in all, it starts with a research question. We then determine the objective, the scope, the goals of the project. From there, determine what our output will be from the project, such as a report, a data sheet, a data brief, or a tool. And then comes the data collection and finding the data that we need to fulfill the objective and the goal of the project. And then comes on working on the product itself, whether the report, which requires writing, or the tool, such as like a Tableau dashboard or using ArcGIS. What are some common challenges you face in your work and how do you overcome them? Lack of data, particular to Puerto Ricans.
For a long time, Puerto Ricans were not counted in the U.S. Census as Puerto Ricans. So if we wanted to do like a time series analysis and going back to the 1930s or something like that, it's very challenging because the data does not exist.
A lot of research out there right now relates to Hispanics, which is great as a whole, but there's so many specific Hispanic origins, and each Hispanic ethnicity has their own needs.
So if we wanted to talk about how certain measures of housing in Florida, for example, are affecting Puerto Ricans, we may struggle to be actually capable to provide an answer to that question.
Especially in New York City, you know, Dominicans, Ecuadorians, Colombians, even though we are Hispanics as a whole, we require different things.
There's other aspects even in today's world where there's a need to produce material in a timely manner, and that is not always the case because data analysis takes time, and to produce good, accurate, satisfying works, it takes time to make sure that we're putting out the best quality that we can.
That is the most common challenge that we face nearly daily.
What are the future plans and goals for the Data Hub?
Okay, for real. To not only grow and diversify the Data Hub unit, but to improve our products in quality as well as accessibility.
Are there any upcoming projects or initiatives you are particularly excited about?
I'm really excited about this project related to the Lincoln Center, which involves archival materials, essentially related to displacement of a community that had resided in Lincoln Square, which is now Lincoln Center. I'm really excited to share and highlight a different perspective of these people who had been displaced and essentially immortalize their story, in which it was never intended to be.
What is your favorite part about your job? The thing that I like most is that I get to come in every day and
use the skills that I've learned over the years.
Getting to say something about people who I care about and trying to rewrite and tell the stories of Puerto Ricans in a way that is not usually told.
As well as learning about Puerto Ricans everywhere, either the U.S., and Puerto Rico, and everywhere else in the world.
What kind of support or collaboration are you looking for from the community or other organizations?
We would love to collaborate with other organizations to not only discuss gaps within Puerto Rican research, but how can we fill them?
How can individuals or organizations engage with the Data Hub?
Please visit Centro PR website and click to the research tab where you'll find the Data Hub section, and you can view all our reports, our tools, and just explore everything that we've produced.